Welcome to the Entrepreneur Power Hour, where you can learn how to build any business you want, whatever it is. How do you do that? Through the power of video marketing. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, sounds good. So
I'm good.
All right, Dan. So let's do a quick recap. I always like to do a quick recap so people can catch up. So let me pull over the syllabus here. We talked about why do video marketing. As I showed in the first video, if you type in the Entrepreneur Power Hour in YouTube and you go there, you can see why that you can, create different videos and what you can do and how it affects almost any, industry. So not only that, but you can see how different videos of different type of businesses. I pulled up Biteable and I showed people, hey, it's not that hard. You say, okay, I want to create a video for any type of business, but, oh, that's hard, right? Creating videos is hard. And that's what I thought. I spent 8 hours on my first animation video, but now I can do them in a few minutes. And we actually did one within an hour. Dan wanted to do a cake design, so we did a little cake design here. I showed how I put it together with pictures from Biteable, or pictures from Pixabay. I just put them in Biteable, and I created a nice little video with a preview here. You can create something like this for your business, or you can create it for stock exchanges. You can create it for e-commerce. Think of any business you can think of: plumbers, electricians, selling oranges on the side of the road, tax preparers, it's tax season, advertising Carrot Top. That video, might scare people, but you can advertise that even for your stand-up comedy. So you can use video for anything, and with a little work and a little determination, finding the right pictures, the right placement, you can create a video pretty easily. Now, it can get in depth, but you can create a fairly easy explainer video, and I showed how to do that. Then I talked about how video marketing worked back in the past. We looked at some old commercials. We looked at how it works in the present, and I gave some ideas to help in the future for VR, for how to do certain things, how to work on it, and also how to get acquainted with live video, how most people feel comfortable getting a different type of video marketing, how they feel comfortable when selling a product using video marketing in the present. And we looked at some statistics. Also, finally, we went over how to write a good script. Because if you're going to have a good explainer video, yes, you want good images. You want to really make people feel like you're relating to them. Well, you have good images and good transitions. You want to tell a story, and you also want people to feel relatable. Now, we're looking at how to be comfortable on camera and shooting your video. So, I'm going to switch over here. I'm going to stop screen sharing, and I'm going to ask our audience here, who here currently shoots video, and what challenges may you be having, or what challenges do you know of somebody else who maybe is trying to shoot videos or trying to be comfortable on camera and doing stuff, presentations like this? We got Dan.
Well, I was going to say I have done videos for my blogging and stuff like that. And I've had times where I've had it be too big or, not the right size or whatever and things like that. And I've had to learn ways of how to condense it to make it fit better and look better on my blog and stuff like that, and to find where it might best sit and stuff like that. And I found a few tools that I use for those type of things, for like condensing and stuff like that were free, and I love them because I just put in my file. It does what I need it to do. I use a thing called Handbrake. It's awesome.
Yeah, let's actually show that to people now. Mind if I show that tool off? Because I do use that tool. I use
go ahead.
videos. One thing you can do if your videos are large, where I have that problem. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, is you can type in Handbrake in Google. Totally free. That's our favorite kind of price. I love free. You can download Handbrake by clicking here, and all you have to do is condense your video with it.
And you can do a lot with it. I mean, I've taken big things and made it smaller, make it more manageable, to be more playable and look better and things like that. And it's pretty easy to follow. First few times you kind of have to figure it out, but once you figure it out, you can whiz through it, and you can even kind of set it up the way you want it freehand. And I'm sure you have, Kareem, set it up to, pretty much how you like them set, and that I have.
Yeah, and you know what? It's pretty simple. It's not a difficult tool to use. I can maybe do a tutorial if someone needs one, but I actually think it's a pretty self-explanatory tool. If you have big videos, it's a good way to condense it down without losing any quality. So let's talk about first how to feel comfortable on camera. Then I'm going to shoot a video on camera. I'm going to show you some tools I use to start editing it, and that'll segue into the next lesson, which is editing and uploading your videos. So let's loosen up, taking a deep breath, and let's get ready for an awesome article. This is simple. Loosen up. Here's 6 ways to get more comfortable on camera. And these are things I use. These are things I use for public speaking as well, or doing any presentation. Even if you're not on camera, I think these are useful. What are they? One is, don't wing it. Even if you're the type who excels at flying by the seat of your pants, I beg you, don't wing it the first time you're going to be on camera, especially if it's live. I've seen many a cool cucumber melt into a blurring mess when the camera lens is shown. This can be avoided with a bit of preparation. So, we talked about, last time, what did we talk about? How to write a good script. So you have your script with you, or you have something. If you don't even want a script, take a piece of paper, take some note cards, write down some points. Now, Dan, when you're shooting videos, do you just go like, hey, it's Dan, what am I talking about? Or do you
No,
have
actually,
something written down?
usually, actually, what I end up doing is doing my blog post first. That way I have my thought process and everything in there. And then I go back and look at it and pull out the key points that I want to remember and cover in my video that I want to kind of highlight and bring out. So that way it grabs them and gets them to want to look at my blog post for the rest of it, um, without telling them to actually read it. Because you can do things like that where you can say things and pull out key points, but the idea is to get them to look at my blog post and to look at what I might end up having to offer them in my call to action, to get them to look at my call to action. Now I might have a little bit of a call to action in my video too, but I try to make it more to where I get them to, because I think when you get them to look and read and see and process it in their brain, but that way it kind of takes hold better that way. Even though you draw them in with the video, but you get them to go to what you want them to really look at.
Yeah, and Dan has his own way of blogging, and he writes a blog post, and then he can talk about the points there. And you summarize the points, right? You don't
Yep.
read the whole. Okay, so you can summarize the points from a blog. You can use note cards. You can use your phone. If you have your smartphone, you can use notes. One thing, is don't wing it. You don't have to look down. You don't want to look down in front of here, but you want to have your notes so you can be, looking at. Oh, okay, yeah, and then you just look up, make your point. If you need to look down at your notes, that's fine. Eventually you get to a point where you're not necessarily going to wing it, but you're going to have less and less notes, and you can go off a script and then improvise. Now,
Well, what I was going to say, one other thing I do is when I do go over my blog post and get my notes, I'll get just a plain Word document, plain blank Word document, write those points down, and then have it open as I'm looking at my camera. So all I have to do is just kind of glance over, look at that, get my points in my head, and then keep reading. And that way I'm not looking down either. I'm not taking my eye off of and that connection with who I'm trying to connect with.
yep. All right. Number 2, wear something comfortable and camera friendly. He says don't wear a 3-piece suit. Don't have a suit of armor. If you have a suit of armor at home, don't come in a monster costume or an It costume. Wear what's comfortable. Having a Flava Flav necklace, a clock, might be a little difficult. So it's important to feel comfortable if you're going to be comfortable on camera. That's almost a given. Self-explanatory, but what I'd say is whatever feels good. They say a press down and solid, as long as you're not in your birthday suit, but you're not in something that's hard to move around. You want something that looks good, it fits easy, like Dan also has, but you can also, motion it. You can work in it. You can feel comfortable. This blazer's custom fit to me, so I can feel good in it. And I also take a lot of time for my clothes, make sure that I like the way they feel, and that, most importantly, they're comfortable.
A point I would throw out is sometimes, depending on what you're talking about, what you're doing, certain types of clothing might be more appropriate for what you're dealing with. If you're really trying to put a more polished look than like it says here, button-down shirt, or shirt and maybe a nice vest or jacket, or like Cream's dressed or so. Other times you can go a little more casual if you want to come off with that, more of a casual feeling, to where you kind of connect better on that level. I think, it just make sure that what you're presenting, what your attire is, kind of flows with that.
All right. I completely agree. Yeah. If you want to appeal to affiliate marketers, maybe this isn't the best attire. Maybe you just want a t-shirt and jeans. However, if you're going to talk about cryptocurrency, the stock market, if you're going to talk about real estate and investing, accounting, maybe leave your band t-shirts, or, that t-shirt that you really love so much with like ketchup stains and the hole in your sweatpants at home, but still make sure you're comfortable. On to number 3, don't give the death stare. And I did this when I first started. I would stare into the camera lens like this. Are you scared, Dan?
I was giving it back.
Want to have a staring contest?
No.
Okay, see, Dan's scared. See, the death scare scared him. He's just like this. Like, no, help me. Okay, it's the same on camera. You don't want to give death stares. There's natural breaks, and that may make you want to look away. But practicing in advance is going to help you feel more natural. So what I recommend is, as he says, not giving the death stare, but pretend like you're talking with a friend. Dan, are we friends?
Yep.
How's it going today? Did you have a good sandwich today?
Didn't have a sandwich today.
Yeah, you did. Was it Jimmy John's or Subway?
I didn't have a sandwich today. Sorry.
All right, my bad. I guess you really didn't have a sandwich. But if you did, would it be Subway or Jimmy John's?
Usually Subway, because I've not even tried Jimmy John's.
Yeah, but Subway's difficult. They're asking you so many questions. It's like a job interview. Do you want it toasted? What kind of bread? How much vegetables do you want? What kind of meat? What do you want? A foot long, 12? I'm like, oh.
You don't like the third degree when you're eating?
No, I just like, hey, Jimmy John's, I want a turkey tom. Boom. Bam.
And is it there that fast?
It is there that fast.
Okay.
The commercial is correct. So now, Jimmy John's, if you're watching, please subscribe to the Entrepreneur Power Hour and give us a like, and we'll help you with your videos. So you don't have to do the super fast radio ad.
Yeah, they are fast.
Now, without my stand-up comedy bit, that's how I see a lot of successful performers, video people, people who are good in presentation in general. They have a conversation with its buddy. I'm not looking at Dan as, oh, I have to, do A, B, and C. I have to say this, this, and that. I'm looking at, okay, Dan is a friend, and I have a game plan. I'm going to go in. I'm talking to somebody like I'm just talking to them normally on the street or in a restaurant or casually. That way they can relate to me. And this really does work. I've seen marketers who come across, would you like to make $3 million in the next 2 minutes? Well, I have my beach house and this, like, stop. Or, hey, this is Kareem, and today we're just going to go over this, this, and this, and how's it going, everybody? What's up? Hope you're feeling good. I'm just on the beach of Indonesia, hanging out, having a couple drinks here. It's a pretty good day. What's up? Then I feel like, oh, this is a real person. And then I feel that's a cyborg, or this person's like, okay, say the next line. Kind of like a Billy Mays, like, this is OxyClean. I'm reading a script. My face hurts. I have to keep this smile.
I'm over energetic.
Yeah, I'm just like, calm down, Billy Mays. Like, what is he doing? Like, oh boy, I just drank like 3 coffees. Get OxyClean. You need to get OxyClean now. Look, it cleaned up this stain. Ah, isn't it good? I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's
But that's a good point though, to look at what you're doing and how you're going to be on camera, and if you're acting sort of like somebody that when you see the commercial or whatever and they turn you off, like some of those commercials do, don't do that. Think of what makes you comfortable, and think of you know the type of person that you're most comfortable with talking to. If it's your best friend, go with that thought in your head. Try and get in that framework and that mind. It takes a while to get there because, you know, even when I first started, I was like kind of like, well, it took me a while to get to that, like I'm thinking they're just in front of me. They're just there. I'm just talking to somebody that I know, like I'm talking to you guys right now. That's where you want to work towards, and that's what you want to get to. And if you do it more and practice more, you can get there. It just get takes to get finally comfortable within your own skin.
Exactly. And here's the best part. You can watch stand-up comedians or good performers, and you can have a lot of fun. You can entertain yourself, and you can actually integrate this within you. How did I learn this? I watched a lot of stand-up comedy, even stuff I didn't want. I was like 13, 12, watching George Carlin, Richard Pryor. My parents are like, oh my God, what are they saying? I'm like, this is funny. They're like, you shouldn't be watching this. But I just thought it was the most hilarious thing. And I saw how they communicate with their audience. They're either teasing them or having fun or like friends. Another good example, like Lenny Bruce, Don Rickles. Just don't worry about it. I'm talking to a friend. I'm having fun. But those stand-up comics aren't just there going, ha ha, knock knock joke, ha ha, knock knock joke. Why are they so comfortable? Because they have a game plan. Number 4, going with a game plan. If you're going to appear on camera or in a presentation, something pre-recorded, let's say it's a promotional video, it's OxyClean. It makes sense to follow a script. If you're being interviewed or appearing on live television, appears to go with a basic outline of what you want to talk rather than a word-for-word script. So your responses sound natural. I can't tell you how many times I've done a script for someone on Fiverr. I thought like, wow, I said every word, they'll love it. And I get back saying, hey, Kareem, looks good, but it looks like you're reading a script. Imagine that. I read the script word for word. I get dinged for, looks like you're reading a script. Just say it more natural. You can take apart some of the words, come up with your own thing. And 9 times out of 10, unless somebody needs an exact script, I'm going in with a game plan of, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this. I'll give you an example of something I just did now, if you want, at the end. And then I'm going to go to number 5. Don't be afraid to pause and collect your thoughts. Now, one issue I had in public speaking is I said and a lot. You said you still have that issue, right, Dan?
I've done it in the past, and I'm not as bad now. But there are times where, like right now, I'm like, okay, how do I say this? There are times, but I look at it, if you don't have too many of them, and if they seem more part of the natural flow, people are not going to pick up on them. It's when
Yes.
you have somebody that goes almost after every other word.
How about we
That
eliminate them completely? I'm going to say almost completely. I still do it when I'm doing tech support because I'm thinking, and sometimes I do say the word Now, can we eliminate them completely in speech and videos? Yes, I believe it's completely
I
possible. What do? You pause, you collect your thoughts, and sometimes if you need to,
see that just irritates me when people do that. I'm
see, I
sorry,
don't,
because to me that doesn't seem natural and normal.
no, I'm not saying you have to inhale and exhale, but when you have a thought, and then it keeps running on. What and the other words, those words that come out, that's because simply this keeps running, but then your mind says, I want to stop. I want to take some time to clear my thoughts. I want to take some time to clear my head. Once you finish your speech, once you finish your sentence or your thought, take a second, take a pause, collect your next thought, your next sentence, your next paragraph, and move on ahead. And sometimes taking a pause is good. You know why? What's he going to say next? I'm building up the anticipation. Is everything okay? I actually knew a
Good point.
speaker who
Good point.
won, I think it was nationals or states. I think it was, he won the state competition. I said, what did you do? I told a story about when my father died. Wow. And then at the end, I took a really long pause. I said, why did you do that? Were you sad? He said, no, I didn't know what to say. And he didn't know what to say. And he took that pause and everybody just leaned in. What's he going to say next? Anticipation. And they burst out and talks about what I taught. And then while he was taking that pause, they were feeling that emotion. In addition, it also prevents him from using or any other filler words. So taking good pauses, having a good game plan, not staring, being comfortable, and not winging it. And I would say the biggest thing is, out of all these, don't pick yourself apart. Maybe your first video, you can't hit all of these. Maybe you say, maybe you say, maybe you come off like Billy Mays because you drank too much coffee and you're holding your OxyClean. It could be any factor. Maybe you just didn't feel comfortable the first time. I'm not saying there's a magic pill to feel comfortable on camera. It took me a while. Just true story, I pulled my head over my shirt on my first chorus concert. That's how scared I was of presentation. I also passed out during chorus concerts. During band concerts, I forgot notes. There are even times when I got scared and I just opted out of presentations. And this happened, they pushed me in college to do more and more presentations. Then in Toastmasters, they pushed me more and more to do public speeches. And yet, this is here where I'm at. But it couldn't have been possible if I was always being a critic. Yes, I had critics with aha counters. Yes, I had some people giving me constructive criticism, but just tearing yourself, oh, this was terrible. I didn't do A, B, and C. Once you see yourself on camera, it's hard for me to watch my videos sometimes doing this. I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years, or hearing my recorded voice. I don't even like hearing it, even though people pay
I
me
don't like
for it.
hearing mine.
I don't like watching my videos. I don't like seeing my voice. I am my worst critic, but that doesn't help. Go easier on yourself. You're not going to have this flawless performance. Practice is going to make perfect. Just keep going, and then, hey, you'll be a video pro in no time. And that's what I really believe. Now, Dan, were you a little bit critical of what you did video-wise when you first started?
Oh yeah, I was very nitpicky and stuff because I'll be honest, I hate the way I sound when I'm listening to my videos. It just drives me up the wall. But I had to learn to take it with what it is. It's my recorded voice. It's how I sound to other people probably, and I had to put that in my head and realize that okay, I'm hearing how other people really hear me, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And if they're not picking me apart, why should I pick myself apart?
Yeah. And
So in that
honestly,
sense,
why would you do that to yourself, right? Because if you do that to yourself, if you constantly pick yourself apart, then in my opinion, you can't get good at anything. If you said the first time you went into the gym, I did all this exercises, I'm not Schwarzenegger, I'm not big and huge, I still look relatively the same, you're not going to get far. If you do that with playing music, can you attest to that since you play violin? I missed a couple
I can.
notes. I even had my guitar teacher said, oh, friends are going a little further along than you. And that's rough when you're 16. That's detrimental when you're 16. Not only is that detrimental, that can make you quit. That can make you stop. Same way with doing videos, same way with doing anything. Don't pick yourself apart. You don't have to be perfect. Now,
See, it's interesting that you say that because when I was in grade school and junior high, I was in my chorus and stuff, and my music teacher in elementary school, after I had a bad ear infection, asked me what happened with my voice, and that kind of did me in. But um, on the other side of it, I had no problems getting up and being a part of the chorus and singing and stuff and things like that. I had no part of, those type of things. I had no problems getting up and playing the violin in front of people and stuff. But when you got me up in front of people to speak, like when I ran for student council and when I had to do some public speaking in front of classes and stuff, then that's when I had problems. And that's when I kind of, especially when I ran for student council in high school and didn't have a podium and I was right in front of the microphone and everybody could see me shaking as I'm reading my speech. I mean, that does a lot to your psyche when you're, and so when I first did a few videos, I had to kind of get over that and, get past that, but I did. And now it's like, I love doing videos. They don't bother me one bit.
Great, great. So I'm going to demonstrate that here. It's not just enough to talk about it. I don't want to be a theory guy the whole time. You know what? I think people over theorize. So I talked about 6 points. Don't wing it. Wear something comfy. Don't give a death stare. Go in with a game plan. Don't be afraid to pause and collect your thoughts. And avoid the urge to pick yourself apart. How about I make a speech with those principles right here and now? Or not even make a speech, do a video presentation.
Okay.
Sound good? Dan, can you see me now?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to go in front of my green screen and actually do this video. We're going to walk through here. It's like I'm going into HDO. There's my birdie. Hi, birdie. So, sorry about that. And then we're going to turn on the lights here. This is actually how I shoot all my videos. You take the bird out of the background, so sorry about that. And now, hi everyone. This is Kareem. I'm so happy to be with you tonight at the Entrepreneur Power Hour. Now, many of you think it's scary to make a video, and I know how that feels. I was there too, but I made several Udemy courses, and I have my own website, Speak Your Mind Now, about how to create an amazing video presentation. And today, I'm going to show you how to do it. We just discussed in an article how to make an amazing video, and not only how to do that, but how to feel comfortable. So I'm going to go over 6 points that we just talked about. The first point being, don't wing it. It may look like I'm winging it now, even though I'm saying. However, I have 6 points that I've just talked about, and I just went over them with my good friend Dan tonight. So you know I'm not winging. While I am improvising a little bit on the words and how I conduct the verbiage, I'm not completely winging it. I'm going off these points. Second point, feel comfortable in what you're wearing. See, I have this nice custom blazer that I wore for the show, and under it, I have a nice Nordstrom shirt that feels pretty good. Now, for different occasions, you may want to change up what you're wearing. This may not be appropriate if you're trying to appeal to skateboarders, affiliate marketers, or a different type of niche. But if you're trying to sell a car, if you're trying to do your taxes, if you're trying to advertise an accounting service, or something professional, then this definitely fits the bill. So wear something comfortable and make sure that it fits whatever niche, whatever audience you'd like to talk to. Number 3, and I think this one is one of the most important. Don't do the death stare. You see me staring. Me and Dan are in a staring contest. Are you scared yet, Dan?
Sure. I'm not staring anymore. I'm not staring anymore.
Okay. But seriously, guys,
if you see someone you really like, if you see a good presenter, they don't do the death stare. What they do is they have calm and collected pause. They talk to you like their friend. What's up, Dan? How's it going? Are you enjoying the video presentation today?
Yeah,
Are you happy you
good.
came on the Power Hour?
Of course, always.
And you did order a sandwich from Jimmy John's, right?
No, it was Subway.
Okay, so he ordered a sandwich from Subway. He likes to ask a lot of questions. Apparently, they give him the death stare. Do you want wheat or rye? Is that what they did?
Pumpernickel.
Pumpernickel. Now, see, Dan, I'm talking to him like a friend, but now I was at Subway, and they asked me so many questions about how to prepare my sandwich that I had to stop and look at point 5, collect my thoughts. So I'm collecting my thoughts. Sometimes when I collect my thoughts, it builds up anticipation. Sir, what type of bread do you? Pumpernickel. I would like pumpernickel bread. Sir, do you want it toasted or not? Toasted. I would like my sub toasted. What type of vegetables do you want? You have to stop and collect your thoughts when you're making sandwiches or when you're talking about your video or any other aspect. Why is this important? It stops you from saying, And I've been in plenty of meetings where I had managers way above me. I could count the uhs, and the And this actually happened to me because I went to a few Toastmasters meetings. It also goes for videos. If you're making a good video, it does become noticeable if you use or filler words too much. The way to stop that is to collect yourself and have a good pause. You can even take a deep breath if you need to. Why is this so effective? It builds anticipation. It allows you to think about what you're talking about. And it stops your mouth from just moving. The reason you say is you're trying to find a thought and your mouth keeps going and going and going. And finally, combine all these points together. See, Dan's doing it. Now you've combined all these points together. Maybe you fall short on something. Maybe you do a death stare. Maybe you wear something that's not comfortable. You couldn't get out of your suit of armor. Or you forget what you were going to say and you have trouble collecting your thoughts. Maybe it was just too difficult to come up with a game plan and you were winging it. You forgot the last point. The last point is don't criticize yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Yes, in my video, I didn't expect to have my bird. Yes, he was out and he got a little bit mad. And I had a little bit of technical hangups in the past. There are videos I even recorded that had no sound. There are videos I recorded and sometimes they were upside down. There are videos I recorded in bad weather. And I've done a lot of crazy stuff. I made more mistakes than the average bear. But the point is, don't criticize yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. And eventually, you'll become super comfortable on camera that you'll be able to make presentations like this and more. I want to thank everybody for watching this quick presentation on that. I'm going to head back to my computer and get any final thoughts.
Well, as soon as he gets back, we'll throw out, that for those that want to interact with us if you're here. Otherwise, if not, in the comments and stuff below, tell us what you thought about, those points in the little impromptu video that he did, showing you about the points. Hopefully he'll
I
be
thought
back
those
here.
were great points. I think I really like the death stare. That I think people don't realize they do that. The death stare, and the pause is like taking a breath and recomposing yourself before moving on. I think that's a good lesson to learn.
Along with like you were saying, collecting your thoughts so you don't do that this, that,
Yes.
all those like that, because
So I have a question.
Minimize. Go ahead.
You're not allowed.
How do you not get nervous just talking to an inanimate object like a camera? how do you not get nervous? Because how do you, do you imagine that camera is a person, or how do you go about uh, getting comfortable talking basically to an inanimate object like a camera?
Okay.
Is there a trick to that, or?
The trick, and this is what I was talking about earlier. I don't know when you jumped in, Sean, but it's really to talk to the camera or talk to anything like it's your friend. Like,
Mm.
necessarily you don't want to friend your camera on Facebook. You don't want to give it a hug or anything, or, pat it, because then it comes out of focus like this. But yeah, I just talk to it like it's my friend, because I know in my head two things. I'm talking to it like it's my friend. People are going to see it and they're going to react to it like it's my friend. They'll say, oh, this guy knows me. He's relatable. And I've seen a lot of videos with really good presentation. They do the green screen better than I can sometimes. They have effects. They have $1 million, 100,000, just great studios that I'd like to have one day. But it doesn't matter, because I can't relate to those people. Why? Because yeah, they can talk in front of a camera, but they're reading a script, or just don't feel their humanity. And the best way to do that is to talk to the camera like it's your friend, because ultimately you're not just talking to the camera as your friend, you're talking to the people who will be on the receiving end as your friend. So you're having fun. And when you're having fun and talking to someone like it's a camera, then boom, it's going to come out like that, and they're going to enjoy it. And not only are they going to enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it when you watch it back.
I was going to jump out and say, for me, because with me doing, I think I've done over 400 blogs and maybe that many videos. I don't know. I've lost count of the number of videos over the years I've done. But after a while, you kind of develop a comfort, and you kind of develop how when you get into it, you kind of just get into that mode and get into that feel of it too, because you've gotten so comfortable. It's kind of, I liken it to like newscasters and stuff. After they've been doing it for a while, you see them become more relaxed, and they just become kind of more themselves in front of the camera as time goes on, because it becomes more partable. And I think in time, that's part of what you're working towards too, is to kind of where this is part of that connection and that connectability of getting with people because you're just so comfortable with it.
Yeah. Visualize it like this. You have to use a little bit of visualization. You're not talking to the camera, you're talking to your audience. And when you can do that, you can ultimately change things. A lot of what I incorporate is not just technique, because technique's important, but I'm trying to incorporate a mindset that, hey, this camera is not a camera, it's Dan, it's Sean, it's my Fiverr client, it's the YouTube dude who comes home 3 o'clock in the morning drinking beer and wants something funny to watch. And maybe they watched all the cat videos, and maybe they realized Carrot Top isn't funny. Now that George Carlin's dead, and now that all the good comedians are dead, they go to the Entrepreneur Power Hour and they say, hey, this guy's comfortable on camera, it's funny, and I learned something. You can have fun and learn something. That's a new thing for most public schools. Does that answer your question?
Yes. So follow-up question is, how do you not do the death stare? Because obviously you got to look at the camera. You don't want to look like you're looking away from the camera, correct? So how do you avoid that death stare?
Okay. To avoid the death stare, and this is going to take a little bit of practice. You may not necessarily get this at the first time. It's important to, this is one of the points we talked about too, take a pause, collect your thoughts. I see a lot of people do the death stare because they're trying to get through the script so fast that they have to talk like this. Hey, this is Billy Mays here, and I have OxyClean, and I have to get through the script in 45 seconds here. And it does this, and it cleans my keyboard like this, that quick. Look, see, good keyboard. How much time do we have? Cameraman, please stop. Stop. Collect your thoughts. I did emphasize taking a breath if you need to. Now, you don't have to do the inhale, exhale, but take a breath. It's almost like performing in front of a stage or performing with an instrument. You can keep staring at people and staring at people, but it's okay to just stop, collect your thoughts. It'll build anticipation. And 2 is practice. The more you talk in front of the camera like it's your friend, the more, like I just said, you won't do a death stare because you feel comfortable.
So
Aiming at the camera are one.
I was going to throw out a point too. Now, a lot of people might have one of those web cameras that they've attached to the camera. I had one for a long time when I had my computer before I had my laptop, and I had to learn to purposely look below the webcam or something like that, because of I always wanted to kind of look up at it and focus on it, and I learned to look away from it. And with my laptop, my camera is like embedded into the side of the, so I've just learned to just not even, there's a green light right there that tells me where it's at, but I just kind of ignore it and just kind of focus on the screen and what I'm looking at. If I have points up or something, I tend to focus on that, because then it takes my mind off of, oh, there's a camera there. I'm just trying to be myself now. And
Yeah.
I think that helps too.
Just be you. If you, and I said that's fine. Like if you have note cards, if you have something on your phone, take a look at that. You can look at that real quick. I've done that when I'm acting and people still think I'm a good actor. So I pulled it off.
Okay.
Do you have anything else, Sean?
I think that's about it for me.
Okay. Were you here? How long were you here?
I came in this when you're finishing up the demo. When I saw you walking into the other room for the demo.
Okay. Yeah, I did a quick demo. I went over 6 points, and then I did a presentation on those 6 points. So let's just recap everything that we've talked about, and let's talk about the next lesson. So can you see my screen, guys?
Yep.
Okay. So we just went over how to be comfortable in front of camera and how to shoot your own video. We also talked about WeVideo. So now you've written a good script, you've shot your video, you know why that's important because of different types of video marketing. You've seen that video marketing, hey, isn't too difficult. Not only can you make good explainer videos, but you can feel comfortable in front of camera and shoot your own video. It's going to take some time, it's going to take some practice. But you know for a fact that it's good for video marketing because if you can put this live, if you can get good enough to do live videos, you can get 80% more people coming to your product, your event. You can sell more products. You can get more customers. You can get more people excited about what you're doing. Now I'm going to show you in the next installment, after we shot a video, how to edit it, how to upload it, how to make it look really cool. What if you could take that green screen behind me and turn it into something really cool like this? This is a video I just did for a client. It took me like 10 seconds and they paid me $5. So that's pretty good. And even though I was trading time for money, it's pretty good. All I did. What if you could do that with a background? That's one of my more mild ones too. What if you could do something where you had the clouds behind you? Wouldn't that be cool? Would you like to do stuff with the clouds behind you with a nice little intro? And this was made with Biteable. That's the first explainer video I showed you. Boom. Here's a quick little intro. You get excited. You're like, what's this about? And then I have my little video and with my music, and I have the clouds behind me. And the clouds are actually moving. Now that's going to be pretty attractive, and that's going to take you from just a guy who's shooting, behind their plant, which is fine. Sometimes the situation does call for that. But if you want to amplify what you're doing, you can put a background. And for some, let's say you want to have a breaking news thing. I'll show you how to do that. Now, I'll show you where to get a green screen. I'll show you how I shoot. I'll show you how I key it out. And I'll show you how I do the intro and how I do the outros. And I'll show you some little tricks to do if you don't have a green screen, and what you can do when you shoot your videos after you edit and upload them, and different little things that can make a big difference. and that is for next episode. So I want to take time for any comments, questions, or I can just jump into the promotions.
No questions.
All right. You got anything, Dan? I'll unmute you.
I'm good.
All right. So, guys, if you like this presentation and you say, hey, I would either like to learn more about videos or, hey, this seems like a lot of work, Kareem. Jumping in front of camera, I'm still scared of it. That's fine. Go to Rockstar Entrepreneurial Starters. We'll help you get more customers for your business via YouTube videos. If you look at my old YouTube video, you go to the entrepreneurpowerhour.com and you look at video marketing, past, present, future. You'll see how effective it is into getting people with your product or service to buy once you have a good video. And we do this all for you. We do the script writing. We can do the acting on camera like I just did, help you with the production and all different sorts of niches. Are you a cook, yoga instructor? Do you work on cars? We can help you with your product or your service. Also, if you'd like to learn what Dan does, head to simplysimplemoney.com. And once you do that, you'll see Simply Simple Life here. With his logo. It looks really cool. Effective tips for living a simple living without a 9-to-5. And he has blog posts here and also different music and different things here that it's really interesting. He's a good writer, and now that he's come to some of these sessions, he has made his own videos and he continues to perfect his craft. Also, we have Sean here today, and you can look him up, Sean C or Sean on Skype. He helps with advancing businesses, and once you get your videos for your businesses and you need a structure for them, he's the guy to talk to really not only structure your business, but give it purpose and direction so it actually has longevity. And to find this video, and to find other videos like it, you can see even some of our old videos. You can go to youtube.com. After it loads up, you just want to go to the search bar, click in the search bar here, and type in the Entrepreneur Power Hour. Hit enter, and then you'll see it right here. Click here. You can get all of our different lessons. You can learn how to start your video marketing business up from scratch, and you can see some different tactics that we're using here and how we're progressing this course. And that is it for how to be comfortable on camera and how to shoot an amazing video. And I want to urge you guys, if you want to be on the panel, just hit me up on Facebook, /Kareem.Mays, and definitely we'd like to have some of your input. Other than that, thank you guys very much for attending the Entrepreneur Power Hour, how to build any business through the power of video marketing. And I will see you next episode, 8:30 Eastern Time, for how to upload your videos. Keep well, guys, and we'll see you soon.